No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Hey, what's everybody? Welcome back to Movie Cranks. I'm Larry, this is Mike, and we just saw Captive State. And I'm not going to waste too much time here because...
It's not worth it.
Well, yeah, let's just start with this. I got a piece of paper here, my notes I take, and I'm just going to read off the list. It's got John Goodman, Ashton Sanders, Jonathan Majors, Vera Farmiga. It's directed by Rupert Wyatt. It's Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It's low budget. It's not a f***ing Cloverfield movie. It f***ing sucks.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
this movie's
not.
horrible.
I'm
actually upset I paid to
terrible.
see that.
Yeah.
It is. This movie's all over the place. You know, I mean, I'm not talking about just the movie. I'm talking about the cinematography, the acting, the characters.
Yeah.
Everything in this movie is just so all over the place. I'm a little upset, man. I had such high hopes. You know, something original, something new. Maybe it would be good. I got to get off that rant. So, you want to tell them what this is about a little bit, if you can even remember what it's about?
Oh, it's easy. If you turn on Colony and watch that, the old episodes of Colony, take out the good actors, take out the plot, take out the action, and then you're left with what this is about.
And then, like I said to you just not long ago, and have it directed by the man who made Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yeah, it's honestly as depressing as we're making it out to be. You have a B movie that somehow made its way into the theaters. This movie managed to take good actors like John Goodman and make them boring and make them unlikable. Thankfully, I will give this a movie half a point for the fact that it was only an hour and 39 minutes long.
It felt like 3 freaking hours, man.
I have to ask.
I was sitting there the whole time. When's it going to end?
At what point did you lose hope?
About 30 minutes in, probably. It starts off actually kind of good. I was actually like expecting so much more, where they come down, you see the aliens.
It really messes you up on the first part.
Yeah, you see the aliens, and you're like, oh, they look kind of cool, and then something happens, and you're like, holy. And then it just all goes, well, the whole.
It had a stunning first 5 minutes that
and then it collapsed.
It was like this had a budget of $25 million. They literally spent all of it
on effects
on John Goodman and the first 10 or 20 minutes of this movie. And the rest was just whatever they had left over. They had food catering services. They had costumes that I could have made here. And it was like, there's nothing. That should be the name of this movie. Nothing. Starring John Goodman.
I'm going to call this movie Save Your Money. Please do not come in.
Yeah, I got a free ticket, so I feel good about that. Because this was not what I expected. And I'm sure a lot of people are saying that online. Yeah. This is not what I expected to see. Well, no, you expected to see like an alien invasion movie where they're trying to break out and become liberated. But no, you see this like weird detective drama thing with like weird love interests with John Goodman. What the heck?
And then you got the scene that they show in the trailer at the football stadium. And it shows the like ship flying and over. It looks cool.
Do you think that's going to be stuff
that happens? You think that's going to be something that happens in the movie?
It's neat stuff like that.
I didn't even notice that in the movie. And that's it.
It's a jumbled mess. John Goodman is...
Oh, it's all over the place.
John Goodman is unutilized. He plays a boring, middling, just drab character that doesn't do anything. And then you see this moment in the movie where they have a camcorder and they do a flashback to John Goodman when he was like back in the day, before the aliens came.
Wow,
and he was full of life and laughing and all this stuff. And you're like, where the hell was that guy?
Why, hello there. It's me, the Colonel.
When they showed John Goodman at the beginning and he's like in the police, I was kind of going, oh, that could be good. That could be a good idea. Like they're the police force working for the aliens.
Except he's boring. And has no life.
He has no lines in the movie, hardly. I mean, most of the time, I think there was one scene where it was like 3 minutes long. It's just him staring.
Every person in this movie had zero
charisma.
Well, it wasn't that. It was the not just the charisma. There was no feeling.
Yeah, you don't care
There was
about
no emotions
any
that
of these
really
characters.
felt real.
You don't even know who most of these characters are at the end. They go back
There's
with a
no growth.
flashback.
That's it.
They go back with that flashback.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make you feel for the characters, and you're like, by this time, you don't even give a
The characters in this movie are static. They have no change to them. They have a start and a finish, and they're the exact same character that you don't care about because you learn nothing about them. They have no connection to anyone in the movie, hardly, it seems. For the first 90%, you don't even know who these people are or what they're doing. It just jumps.
And apparently the aliens don't either. It's stupid.
In a long story short, you join the show with some wonderful news highlight clips of the invasion of the aliens. You don't see anything. There's no battles. There's no war. It's done through some grainy television stock footage and some voiceover.
I noticed that.
And then moved into, you see like a kind of a town that's sort of operating normally. You can barely tell there was an alien invasion at first. And you're introduced to these characters in a weird haphazard, they're like hanging out together. The two boys, basically.
Well, they were in the
I'm
car.
going to call him blonde-haired boy, and I know it's Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, you're talking about Machine Gun Kelly. I thought you were talking about the two brothers.
He had no point in this movie also. There was like no...
No, he's not in the movie. He's another one where they put the name there, Machine Gun Kelly. He's not in the movie.
He makes an appearance a few times as the weird friend and just disappears.
Yeah.
There was no point to him.
There's so many characters in this movie that are in this movie for like 1 minute and then gone.
So then the next part of the movie is you getting to know this John Goodman character, which he's like the regional director. Or he's like a head of intelligence. The whole human race has basically bowed down to these aliens. And you can tell these aliens were powerful because of the first act of the movie. The first 5 minutes shows you that. So you have these super powerful aliens, and you're like, wow, we are in for a freaking battle. If these guys are as powerful as they make them out to be in the first 5 minutes, holy hell, we're in for a movie.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be good after that first scene.
The first 5 minutes, like, make you think, Jesus, these aliens are for real.
Yeah,
and
they're
then
not playing.
You never see them again, hardly.
Well, you do, but in the dark. It's like they went so cheap on the alien effects. I mean, okay, I think they looked good, but it's so dark that you don't really even get to see them.
So now you're on the scenes where these characters in this movie are suddenly working together in a plot. And apparently they're with the resistance. You just suddenly focus on one guy doing a task and then another person doing a task. And then you're suddenly in this room with two more people and they're doing something and they keep alluding to like they're going to have this big thing.
Yeah, like they're gonna burn it down.
For 45 minutes probably of the movie. You're watching these people just do these mundane things like passing notes and talking.
And the editing.
And you're like, what the? This movie's only an hour and a half long. When are they going to get to what's going to happen? Here's a good way to describe it. Think of Ocean's 11. You know who the characters are. You know what their goal is and what they're working towards. And you know what the mission is. And so you get to see them doing all these plans and all this stuff to make the mission work. And it's really cool because you're invested, because you know these characters, you know you know what's going on. In this, you don't know the characters, you don't know the plan, and you don't know what the hell they're doing, because they don't explain anything. So you're not invested at all. You're just like, leaned over, just like, God, when is the next action scene going to happen?
How can you talk about this movie? I think they tried in the first part of the movie to get you to stay in your seat for an hour and a half.
And then the rest of the movie, they knew that you're locked in because you're expecting something to happen, but nothing does. It just goes on and on and on.
And if you want to know what does happen, Mike caught it, just watch the trailer.
Yeah.
It's in the trailer.
John Goodman's character in the trailer gives you a very big scene of this movie and ruins it. Because you know what he's going to do because of the trailer.
You know the end. If you watch the trailer and you watch this movie, you're going to know the end before it even happens.
Yep. Congratulations, movie. They didn't show how life really was. They didn't show anything that, like,
Yeah.
how's normal life? How are they freaking using water systems and electricity and all this stuff? They didn't show anything.
Well, they show them like they took away some of their technology or something, and they don't
They
have
took away their phones and stuff,
and
and
they
their
don't have any
communications.
kind of communication devices.
Like, they make it seem like they blew up other
big old
cities,
mess.
but they don't show it. They just show you, like, a still image that's digital and fake of them looking out, and there's, like, these CGI burned up buildings. And you're like, well, I guess they did that. I mean,
you know what?
Let's talk about the ending.
Yeah, like I said earlier, there is no real ending
They
to
didn't even
it.
show you
By the
what
time you
happened
get
at
to
the
the
end.
ending, you do not care.
They left you with this
They tried to-
cliffhanger.
Yeah, where they tried to basically, like I was saying earlier, they tried to make you care about all these characters at the end.
Yep.
By then, you don't care.
Nope.
With a series of flashbacks.
They have a twist. A big twist at the end that you'll see coming a mile away. Vera, let's start with her. If
What's
you
her
expect
purpose?
her to be any part of this movie, don't worry about it. She's
Yeah,
not.
2 scenes.
Spoiler. John Goodman's in this maybe
was he?
like, well, was he in this movie? Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
he was in this movie.
About
I forgot all
10
about
minutes,
that.
maybe. And I know
Because
that there's
idiots.
some up and coming actors in this. Gabriel Drummond and his brother Rafe Drummond. These two brothers, they tried to make a connection between them.
Well, they tried to make a
I
connection.
mean,
but
Ashton
there
Sanders
is
did a
none.
good job.
Yeah, the main of the movie.
Yeah,
he's
well,
fine.
main. I mean, I guess
He's supposed to be the main of the movie.
Yeah,
and he's fine.
I tell you what,
but his
if they let
brother-
this kid take the whole movie and run it from his perspective the whole time, we'd have had something.
Something.
Because the kid was my favorite part. He was great. Jonathan Majors. Yeah, not to say anything bad, but
He wasn't good.
his anger and cries and everything he was doing in this thing was so
Just dramatic.
and convoluted. He didn't feel real. Like, it felt like acting. And luckily he was only in very small part.
He's not a big character in the movie. I mean, he is behind the scenes, but he's not largely in the movie.
I mean,
None of these characters really are.
No.
They're just in it for a minute and then gone.
They had a
In it for
bunch. They
minute,
had a bunch of
gone.
cameos and a bunch of celebrities. I mean, like C-list and B-list celebrities, and they just would have some lines and they would run around or do something, and then they would disappear. And I'm sorry, the director of what was his Planet of the Apes? I expected so much more.
So much more.
than that. I mean,
And he did-
expected I expected this to be amazing.
And he did The Gambler, too, with John Goodman. That
I
was a
did-
good movie.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that one. I mean, and he's done some good TV shows too. I mean, it's like he did
That
The
makes no
Exorcist
sense.
show, which is one of my dad's favorites. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff that gives you promise to see a sci-fi under him. And he needs to stay far away from it. Far away from it. So they had the fracking, the earth, and they had like the natural resource pillaging. They had the oppressive cops. They had all that going in this movie. And I understand maybe he was trying to put a message out about all this stuff, but he did it in a really bad way because no one's going to see it. That's the bad thing. If he did it in
There
a
was like
really
2
good
other people
movie,
in our theater.
if he had a really good movie and the message was like saving the earth, I'd have been like, yeah, he did great. But it was a decent message with a terrible movie.
Did you imagine what this would have been like in the days when almost all movies were made in 3D?
I couldn't. No, I'd have walked out if this was in 3D. I felt like I came out of there with brain damage. I literally walked out and I felt queasy. The camera work in this is absolute. It goes from handheld, and for anyone that doesn't know what handheld means, it's what you think. It's a guy walking around with a handheld camera, and that's 40% of it.
This made the camera work in like, what was that one movie where the guy's running around, it's all like viewpoint, it's shaky cam. Oh, God.
I know what you're talking about. It'll be right here. Because I cannot remember the
I know.
exact name, but it was the
Put
one
it
where
there.
it was in first person.
Yeah.
And it was Russians
It makes
and-
that movie shaky
Yeah.
cam.
lay there? Swallow that blood in your mouth? Or are you gonna stand up and go spill theirs?
Look completely still.
Yeah, the action scenes there were, would like when people are running, which that was about the most you'd get most of the time is someone running. You'd have this camera bouncing up and down with them and left to right, and it was so jarring it made your stomach hurt. The spaceships.
Yeah, but they're kind of like, they make them look like asteroids, which actually would be smart for aliens to do if they came to Earth, because it'd be harder for us to detect them if the ships were actually looking like asteroids.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't show you any of the battle. It doesn't
movie.
show you any of the humans fighting the aliens in a battle. There's none of that, so get it out of your head. That doesn't happen. And how do you like the fact that the hunter aliens were just people dressed up in a suit?
The Predator suit at the end of the Predator, that's pretty much what it
looked like. The end of Predator, yeah. You're right. That's the best way to look at it, is a Predator suit. Sound was absolutely garbage. The music was insane. It was like there was
I think they had a lot of dubstep.
Yeah, but weird. It was like they broke off parts of dubstep and stuff, and they did like
There you go. That's the music of this movie.
But they also did one other thing that was really bad. It was the music did these like loud barrages, like boom.
Got an unknown surface contact, 8,000 yards.
Is this some kind of exercise?
Probably.
Like Inception or something.
Yeah.
And it was so loud and just nauseating because they had no part of what they were doing. They were trying to make it seem like action was taking place or something crazy, but nothing. The aliens had good special effects as far as sound. The sound effects for the aliens were incredible. They were like, it was alien. It was like weird, like creaking noises mixed with like breaking branches sounds.
It was like they were speaking, and because there's one scene where they do it.
They have interpreters.
They have interpreters.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're speaking in like almost like a Morse code or something.
Yeah, it's
like,
a lot of clicking and a lot of weird noises. And it makes you think of the aliens. And they have translators, human collaborators. And that's what this whole movie's about, is these human collaborators working with the aliens, and they're the bad guys. And of course, they're the rogue police, big suited up, fully geared out police officers, and like military people that turned on the humans. And now they're working with the aliens. That's most of the population. They only show the rebels as being like a group of 20 people.
Pretty much a movie for me. It was convoluted, all over the place. Acting, to cinematography, to directing, to writing. Everything in this movie was bad.
Yeah.
If you want to watch this movie, watch the first 5 minutes, turn it off.
Yeah, watch Colony. I mean, it's now canceled and over, but at least
watch
it
Colony.
Was
Colony was
way
good.
better than this. You had characters and people that were realistic, and you felt like they were being oppressed by this alien society. I mean, all that stuff you had with Colony. This was like a horrible, cheap knockoff of Colony, and they did it. Everything about it was wrong. I mean, I give this movie an F.
Yeah, this is 100%
Yep.
F.
I mean, it's got like a 50% right now.
Yeah, I couldn't recommend anybody. You know what? I think it's actually it had a 62%. My voice is starting to go out.
I know, mine too.
Okay, guys, we got to wrap this review up. Our voices are starting to go out. We've been like screaming and yelling all the way home. So my personal objective opinion of this movie is convoluted. It's all over the place. Acting's horrible. John Goodman of the actors is okay. The main character, he's okay. They're passable. In the end, kind of takes a little rise and then fizzles out. The whole movie was just a disaster for me. I mean, if I could go back, I wouldn't have paid for it.
No, I would not have paid for this movie if I had known this. I wouldn't have watched it here or anywhere. I wouldn't have watched it in my house. I wouldn't have watched it on rental. I will never watch this again.
Yes, definitely enough.
No, there's plenty of other sci-fi movies you can watch right now. Hell, Predator was better.
And Triple Frontier.
Triple Frontier was a masterpiece compared to this movie.
Exactly. Anyways, guys, I think that's about all we got So we're going to get out of here.
Yep.
Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share. Help us get 1,000. And until the next time, guys.
And check out our Triple Frontier review and also our Captain Marvel review. Both of those are better. Go see those right now compared to this. So anyway.
All right, guys. See ya.
Peace.